I'm Jake McCambley. I'm 29 years old. I live in Jackson, New Hampshire, and I'm a software engineer for Zencare.co. I live in Jackson, New Hampshire, mainly because of the mountains that surround me. This house is modeled after a high mountain hut, like a cabin, and I live in a valley, so behind me there's a series of mountains, and in front of me there's another series of mountains. The ways that I have fun outside of work, I love to go for hikes. There's so many great mountains around me that, if I'm not inside coding, I'm probably going to be outside hiking or trail running or doing something on a trail on a mountain. If it's not a nice day outside, I'm probably inside either reading or making music. And I make music on like a little synthesizer drum machine, so it's nothing super special, but it checks the box of like that creative problem solving that initially got me into coding. I grew up in Connecticut, down in Fairfield County, and I went to college down in Wake Forest, North Carolina, where I studied psychology for 4 years and entrepreneurship as a minor. My dream was to become a therapist. I had gone to therapy myself, and it was something that I felt so meaningful for me and something that I wanted for everybody, and so I wanted to be a therapist. I wanted to help people. When I left college, I went to go work in wilderness therapy out in Utah. So I was taking students and adults out on, week off camping trips in the desert of Utah. I have vivid memories of making fires with sticks in the woods and teaching other people how to do that. I see kids crying because they discovered something about themselves that is so transformative. It was really rewarding. It taught me a lot about who I am today. What brought me to New Hampshire was a hike actually across the country. I hiked the Appalachian Trail, and on the Appalachian Trail, I crossed through a series of high mountain huts. And I love the huts so much that I decided to stay here. At the end of 2020, working some part-time jobs, I went home in October and I bumped into one of my brother's friend's moms. And my brother's friend had attended a boot camp out in California. And she was just so thrilled that he had graduated this boot camp and then found a job and was really changing up his life. That's what initially put the thought in my head of I could learn to code. I could really do this. Coding was always something that I was interested in. My dad has always said that it's a valuable skill to be able to code. He was working in marketing on the internet in the early days, and so he saw that the internet was going to be this big thing, and of course it was, and it continues to be this big thing, and there are always jobs in the tech sphere. I came across the boot camp after reading an article on Course Report. It was affordable, it has a great schedule, and it has a great curriculum. And on top of that, the community really sold me. I was interested in building websites when I was looking for boot camps, and software engineering program seemed like a place where I could learn how to do that. And here I am, 12 months later, I'm a software engineer. One of my favorite things about the education, and one of the things that helped me most become the engineer I am today, is the project-based sprints. In a sprint, every 2 weeks, you have a set of tasks that you want to complete. And at the end of those 2 weeks, you have a project, hopefully, ready to ship to production. In the real world, those are features that you might want to make. There's a new set of curriculum tasks that you're going to learn. And by the end of the week, you have a full project that you can then show off in your portfolio. At the end of a sprint, I'm submitting my project to a code reviewer. The process of code review was always helpful. It was always valuable feedback to receive, and it always helped me learn just a little bit more at the end of a sprint. And the process of receiving feedback on my code is a process that I experience on a daily basis now. There's always somebody reading my code before it gets shipped to even our staging or production environments. And so getting practice receiving feedback and responding to feedback is not just a valuable skill to have now, but it's also something that really helped me learn in the moment. The APRE program is one of my favorite things. It's a place where you can practice real-world skills and working on teams just like you're going to do in the industry later when you finally get a job. I worked on 3 APRE projects. Those projects are very high up in my portfolio now. I worked on a project for an angel investor who needed a full-stack project from end to end to be able to create an MVP and show potential investors of its own, a real-world project. Where I was looking for a job, I was looking for somewhere small that I'd be able to receive mentorship that is small enough that it wouldn't be able to hide behind a big team, somewhere that I'd be able to really make an impact on a product. I wanted to work somewhere related to mental health or related to conservation, somewhere that I felt like was going to be doing good in the world. And I think it was on AngelList where I first found Zencare. On the profile page, there was just a reach out to the CEO and founder of the company. And so I wrote a cover letter to her just explaining hey, I'm passionate about mental health. I'm passionate about building products that help people. And she responded saying let's chat on the phone. So we had one phone call. And then from there, I had a technical interview with the team. So I met the other engineer on the team, Elijah. That went well. And then I had another technical interview and then a few more conversations back and forth. And here I am. One of the best things about working the job I have now is that I can wake up at 8 o'clock, do something in the morning, drink some coffee, sit out on the porch, start work at 9:30, take a break in the middle of the day, go for a run, come back, continue working, go for a hike in the afternoon, make some pizza, whatever it is. There's so much flexibility involved in my job. I think both the Appalachian Trail and learning how to code had this aspect of like breaking things down into smaller pieces. And so, one sprint is the equivalent of like hiking from town to town on the trail. And so I think hiking the trail for sure taught me to break things down and to take it piece by piece and be patient and just know that like that end goal is out there, but it's not the only thing. There's like one sprint coming up and another sprint coming up. For somebody who's looking into becoming a software engineer, I would say take some time, try writing some code. If you feel like you're having fun, you can be a software engineer. Say making a career switch is not an overnight thing, but if you give it a shot and you have fun, you can do it.